Okay, perfect. All right, I don't know who I'm coming to, so I'm just going to wait for it. I was just being told there was a loss of a child, okay? So I'm just going to wait and see who steps in next. All of a sudden, I got a flash of being in a vehicle. I feel like there's a car accident, and I feel like I'm tumbling around because it's lost of control. He recognizes the car accident. Huh? Do you recognize the car accident too? Okay. Who's the car accident for you, honey? Whew. All right. What's with the motorcycle? No. Do you recognize the motorcycle? All right, so someone's stepping in just behind him. Do you recognize the motorcycle accident? Perfect, so I'm going to do both of them at the same time. That's why I felt like I wanted to park here, because it was somebody stepping for you as well. And it just happens that he grabbed my attention too. Okay, perfect. So I feel like I'm sitting in the car, I feel lost of control, and I feel like I'm tumbling. Do you understand? So that would be your father, okay? And then I can hear the revving of the motorcycle, and I feel like the motorcycle's starting to come down this aisle right here. It's their way of making me feel that there's a motorcycle accident as well. Do you understand it? Is that somebody you expected? Because I keep getting, she didn't expect me. Okay. Okay. It could mean that somebody wants to come through and give an apology. It could mean someone wants to pass the message to somebody else. I'm just going to wait for them to start talking. Do you understand it? I know, I just see you going like this. Are you shocked too? Okay, because I keep being told, look at how she's shaking her head. It's okay. It just means they're making me feel that you're both surprised. Do you understand it? Okay, so we're just going to wait for that. But I'm being told we're going to deal with the father energy first, okay? So I'm starting to feel him. I feel like I'm in the car. I literally felt like not only was I in the car with him, but I could feel the tumbling and the loss of control, okay? He's been gone for a while, honey. Huh? See my fingers? I was already holding it because I said, tell me how long, and he was saying 2 to me. Perfect. So it's just his way of validating that he's stepping in. He said I needed to tell her that I was at peace and I needed to let her know that I was okay. I'm only stepping in for a minute because I wanted to validate something about the loss of her daughter. Okay? So, this is what he's saying to me. Do you understand what he's saying to me? I know things were rough in the end just before I passed. Okay, I feel like it's personal and I know you understand it. And I feel like not only does it have to do with his life, but your relationship as well. Do you understand? Okay. She needs to know how proud I am of her and tell her how much I love her. I know it's been really, really hard on her since I passed. I needed her to know that I'm at peace. But the main thing I needed to tell her today was that her daughter Sarah is with me. And that one day if she chooses to have another child, that her soul has chosen to be regifted. That means that if there is the decision to have another child one day, you're going to be able to have the regifting of that soul. So you'll be able to love the child that was originally lost before. Do you understand? And I'm being told through miscarriage. Okay? So this is what I'm going to say to you. Because this is what it's making me feel. Why do I want to eat cheese and crackers? What is that? What's with the spray cheese? What's with the cheese and crackers? I need to leave that because that might be someone else trying to like make me feel stuff in an older generation. I'm like, why does somebody make me feel like I want to put spray cheese on crackers? I'm going to leave that alone. That's hysterical. I gotta leave that for a minute so I figure out who that is. Other people are starting to drift in, so I'm just picking up residual from everybody. It's so funny. He keeps saying to me, He just said, Beth, you need to know how thankful I am that you were part of my life and that you were given to me a long time ago. I know there's ways that I could have been a better father, but I know that you always tried to give me the benefit of the doubt as much as you could. Do you understand it? You need to know how much I appreciate that. You need to know that I'm sorry that I didn't take the chances and do the things that I probably could have done in better ways when I was there. But I need to thank you for the way that you still tried to accept me and understand me. Do you understand that? Do you understand why he's saying that, honey? Okay. My gift to you today is to let you know that she's with me and that I watch over her for you. I wanted you to know that we're both at peace and we're together. And I'm thankful for the time that I have with you now. And then he just said, I love you. I'm going to ask him if there's anything else because he makes me feel like he's pulling his energy out. Yeah, that's it, honey. That's all he's saying. This is what I'm going to say to you. He just had to get my attention. And so what happened was, as that last group started to step out and I knew I was going to come down here and start to deal with the loss of a child, all of a sudden I got a huge picture of this car. I felt like I wanted to get in the vehicle and I felt like we were tumbling lost the control together. So it's the way that he had to give it to me to get my attention. And it's just because you were standing in the room at the time. And he keeps saying to me, I know there's other people that want to hear from their loved ones, so I didn't want to take up too much time, but I had to just let her know that I was here, and I had to let her know that her little girl was with me. Do you understand it? Perfect. All right, he's starting to step out. Okay. I'm releasing his energy. So much more I know could have gotten out of him, but he had to grab my attention while he could just for a few minutes. Okay. I feel like I'll be passing stuff to her later, so that's just fine. This motorcycle crash, I feel like foolishness. Do you understand it? I feel like someone that not only didn't have control in the moment, but really didn't have control and is sorry for the actions that they did in their life as well. Do you understand it? And who's this male to you? Okay, because he keeps saying to me it was important that I talk to her today, and I'm starting to hear his voice, and it's a male. So I'm asking him to step in. Okay, now he's making me feel father presence. It's just because I was still connected to her dad, but they both died in an accidental passing that was some kind of vehicle or, do you understand it? Even though his was a motorcycle, so he had to make me feel the motorcycle. And even though her father energy was a car accident, they had to piggyback off of each other. Do you understand it? Okay, perfect. And so I was just getting the acknowledgement that it was a father energy. But it was just because it was her father. I can hear his voice, now I'm being told father energy. Okay, perfect. I feel like I'm supposed to sit across from you, so I'm going to. Okay? So I feel like I'm supposed to face you. Because there's a really strong woman saying she's waiting to talk. So we'll wait and see who that is. But he keeps... was he in and out of your life? Okay, because he makes me feel like I'm getting on this emotional roller coaster, and he's making me feel like he's not a full-time father. And he says to me, I know she didn't expect me. I know she's going to have a hard time with this, but there's things that I need to say to her. Listen, this is what can happen, okay? If there's someone who passed on the other side, and whether we hold anger, whether we haven't given the full forgiveness, whatever it is, okay? What can happen with this is for them to be able to spiritually evolve on the other side, and for you to be able to spiritually evolve on this plane while you're here, sometimes they have to come through and give an apology. Do you understand it? Do you still hold on to this, honey? Because they're saying to me you haven't, because they're saying to me you haven't fully forgiven 100%, but you've tried over the years. And it's because of the actions of ever since you were a child leading all the way into adulthood. Do you understand it? Okay. So I'm just going to let him talk. Can I ask you a question? Are you surprised he's in heaven? Because that's what he just said to me. He goes, she's actually surprised I'm talking to you and that I made it. Do you understand? Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to let him talk, okay? But he's saying that, he's your dad, and he makes me feel like today is about an apology, and he's making me feel all kinds of emotion. This is what I'm going to say to you. Oh, thank you, honey. I just ended up sitting where there's tissues. God bless. This is what I'm going to say to you. You know, when we're put here in different lifetimes to learn different life lessons, and we're here for the time being, sometimes we make mistakes and sometimes we don't always make the best choices for our life. That's how he's making me feel. Do you understand it? And not only is it his way of validating and making me feel him as a person, but it's his way of making me feel like that's what he wants to talk about today. Now, I'm not going to go into detail because I'm feeling some things that I don't want to discuss in front of everybody that are more private. Do you understand it? Even though I know exactly what happened with some of this, I'm not going to go into the detail of it because of the way he's making me feel, okay? So I'm just going to let him talk to you, and I'm being told not only is this important for him as far as him being on the other side, it's also important for you. So what happens with this is somebody can come here and they can have, you know, sometimes it can be drug use, sometimes it can be alcohol, sometimes it could just be actions, sometimes it can just be mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake because they just make wrong decisions in their life. Do you understand it? I feel like I'm starting with hiccups, so excuse me if I start hiccuping. But he makes me feel like he wants to talk, and I feel like it's reoccurrences. It's like over and over and over. And he's in and out of your life, and he's not really the dad that he should have been, okay? So what happens with this is they know the mistakes they made when they were here, okay? So once they're on the other side, not only do they see how their actions affected other people, but how other people's actions affected them. So it's his way of not only with the learning process of being with God and being with Jesus and being in heaven and being on the other side, by the way that he chose to live when he was here. But it's also the acknowledgement that he knows how his actions affected you. Do you understand that? Okay. So I'm just going to listen to his words because he keeps saying to me, she needs to know that I've seen stuff since I've been here and I understand my faults, even though I knew them, even though I knew I wasn't a good father to her. I understand even more, and that's why I'm standing beside you, because I have to give the apology to her. Because I know how much my choices not only affected her as a child, but have affected her in her adult decision making too. Do you understand it? Have you tried not to be like him? Because he said to me, in her mind all these years, now I know I'm the one she kept thinking she didn't want to be like. Do you understand it? Okay, that's what it's about, honey, okay? I know there's abuse, and I'm just going to leave that, okay? That can be verbal, emotional, mental, physical. We're just going to leave it, because that's some of the stuff I was feeling that he's making me feel like we're not going to get into personally, okay? So I just want to listen to his words for you today, because he keeps saying to me, I wanted her to know that I finally got the forgiveness and that I made it, but it took me a while. That's how I know that he didn't cross over right away, but he's crossed now, okay? I know there's a lot of things that I still have to work on. I know there's a lot of things that I did that I shouldn't have done. Tell her that this means a lot to me right now to talk to her the way that I'm talking to you. I'm just repeating his words, honey, okay? I know that she still tried. I know that she still tried to have love and respect for me, but I know how hard it was for her to even do that. Do you understand it? Did you try that? But I don't feel like it worked very well. Perfect. Do you understand it? That's how I know you tried over the years, but it just didn't happen. So it's his way of voicing that he knows that that's happened. Do you understand? Okay. He's saying to me that you didn't expect him to pass when he did and how. So it's his way of making me feel that it was sudden and unexpected. That's why he was making me feel the motorcycle before. Do you understand? Good. He's also saying to me, I understand why she feels and why she always had it in her mind. The thought of wanting to make sure that she didn't turn out the way that I did. But it's not about necessarily his actions, it's how he was as a person. Do you understand it? Because that's what it is. Because he keeps saying to me, it's about the person I was. She wanted to make sure that she wasn't like that and she didn't treat others the way that I chose to treat others. He's saying, I'm going to be honest with you, I was not a good man. Do you understand it? There's some things I did that I probably should have never have done. And I know that I can't take back what I did, but I hope she can understand now that I'm different and I'm who I truly should have been, because now I'm pure and I'm with God. Because this is what happens. Everybody's human, everybody comes here, everybody makes mistakes, okay? Then you get your forgiveness through your sins through Jesus, then you cross to the other side, okay? The forgiveness of the sins happens, okay? Jesus exists, we have to get the forgiveness of our sins, and then we cross into heaven, okay? He took a while, but I feel part of it with him was shame. Do you understand it? And then once he crossed, he became who he should have been the whole time when he was here. I understand. And you know what? He's standing here saying he agrees with you. Okay? Okay. Mm-hmm. He said, I know she just said that it seems like I wasted my life and I have to agree with her. Because it's about my choices. Because there's things I could have done with my time, and there's ways I could have loved people that I chose not to show my love to. Do you understand that? Did you ever feel loved by him? So he said to me, I know she never really felt my love. Do you understand it? That's why he's doing this. Okay? Because he needs you to know that he's at peace. He's finally found the salvation, that he's on the other side, and he can truly start to be who he should have been all along. He knows and has to say the mistakes that he made, but he's also making me feel that he needed you to know that he's seen the suffering that's happened as well. Do you understand it? And not only is it your emotional suffering, it's everybody else's that he affected. But you're the only person I'm talking to today, okay? He keeps saying she needs to know how sorry I am. She needs to know how sorry I am. He's thanking me for talking to him. I'm being told I have him just for another minute, so I'm going to see if I can get anything else out of him, okay? Tell her I know this is hard for her, but these are things that I needed to say. Because I'm hoping one day when she sees me, she can have a better understanding. And I'm hoping that she will continue to give herself a chance and let her heart forgive me more. And he just said, I love you. Is that the first time you've heard it? He said, I had to make sure I said that because I've never said it before. Do you understand it? Yeah. I can feel the peaceful wings in front of his chest. He's going to start to step out, okay? I'm going to see if I can get anything else from him, all right? He did a fantastic job. Listen, he made me feel the motorcycle accident, and I was just talking. And that's perfectly fine. Who's the one that has the birthday in March? Okay, because I can feel them just behind him. Perfect. Huh? That's that maternal energy I was feeling earlier. Do you understand it? The grandmother energy? Because remember how I kept saying